Welcome back. Sam the Electrician here, talking about Western independence and Alberta separation. Just wanted to go over a few articles I saw in the mainstream media today, one of which being Peter MacKay has declared his intention to run for the Conservative Party, and Rona Ambrose has declared her intention not to run for leadership of the Conservative Party of Canada. Pretty interesting. Doesn't make much difference to me. I see the Conservative Party pretty much never gaining power again in this country, especially with the separatist movement on the rise out here. If people put their money where their mouth is in Alberta and start voting for the Wexit party that just became a federal party, then they would definitely split any kind of right-wing vote coming out of the prairies and Saskatchewan as well, of course. Shout out to my people in Saskatchewan. So if we actually move forward on this and even just for one election shake up the Conservative Party and show them that we're serious, we'll see a lot more movement a lot more quickly, and a lot of these politicians will start to even consider jumping in on the movement. Another thing I saw was the federal government is spending more now than they ever have in the history of the country. They even broke it down into like per person measures, and we're spending more per person now than we did in World War II. So it's and we don't have anything to show for it. The job numbers are going down. There's not a lot of confidence in the economy right now. Some people say we're teetering on the brink of a made in Canada recession. Other people say that that's just a talking point and everything's fine. I guess the future will tell who is correct on that one. But the fact of the matter is, the Financial Post was listing it and saying it, that there's a point where your government becomes too big and there's no return. It's diminishing, the law of diminishing returns, where you can spend all you want and your government gets that much bigger, and then it costs that much more to run, and then you're spending that much more money to run it, and then you're racking up more debt, and the spending becomes runaway and the people get left behind, and quality of life doesn't go up proportionally to the spending, and neither does infrastructure or anything. And I guess according to them, we've already crossed that point, and the government's too big and it's spending too much money, so we've got to roll back all that and find efficiencies, which we're trying to do here in Alberta on the provincial level, and getting a lot of flack for it from all the public sector workers who, God bless them, but they've got this sort of attitude that once you start working for the government, you're never going to have to take a cut back, and never, it's just endless raises and job security for the rest of your life. Well, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way in the private sector. Why should it work that way in the public sector? If the people can't afford, all the NDP came in and in 4 years ramped up and added so many public sector jobs to the province, it's unsustainable. So now, unfortunately, the cycle in Canadian politics, right? The Conservatives have got to come in and be the mean bad guys and find the efficiencies and do the cuts and try to get things under control, and try to get the runaway spending down to the dull roar, and they're always painted as the bad guys. It's just it's very myopic of people that can't. Myopic means short-sighted. They can't see the forest for the trees. You can't just keep spending just because you work for the government. You can't just get a raise it's not nothing in life is guaranteed, even if you work for the government, right? So anyway, so when it comes to Canadian politics, what did we learn this week? That East Coaster is running for membership or leadership of the Conservative Party, which is based mainly in the West. One of the best candidates isn't running. Trudeau's spending too much money. And the last thing I read was some young millennial type soy boy Green Party leader from Quebec is running for the federal Green leadership to replace May. And as he stated in the interview he had, he calls himself an eco-socialist. I call him an eco-fascist or a communist. He's basically using the fallacy of a climate crisis to push his agenda which is his ideological fascism on everyone else, in which he says he will shut down the Alberta energy sector within 4 years of being elected, and he will restructure the entire economy to make it a redistribution of wealth economy where the wealthy are punished and the less wealthy are rewarded with the money that is forcibly taken from the people who earned it, which is communism, and will definitely precipitate any kind of separatist movement out west. So I hope he gets in. He never will. He's too radical. But that's what we need, actually. We would need somebody like that to get in as prime minister, and then you will see action and violent reaction out of the west for sure to protect the fruits of our labor and our way of life. But we won't get so lucky. They'll do it drip by drip, like Trudeau the Destroyer, right? And he knows what to do, and he's slowly working it down. So Alberta's economy will be destroyed, and we'll be left out in the cold, with nowhere to go and no money to support us because we're the economic engine of the country. So those fishermen out in the Maritimes, you better enjoy your last few winters on EI, because Trudeau's going to make sure there's no money left for you. Yeah, and then you'll really see wonder why you voted for him. But anyway, that's all I have to say tonight. Join me again tomorrow. I'll make another video. And yeah, stay warm and take it easy.